Built in 1976 at Amman International Airport, what is now a 4-ship team, originally started as 3 pit specials S2As. The team changed to 4 fast and nimble water extra 300Ls in 2007, and since 2018 they have been operating the brand new extra 330LX. It's a modern and capable version of the extra design, is capable of an eye-watering. Starting off in box formation, performing a quarter clover manoeuvre, rolling right and pulling through, and they'll be staying in this very tight box formation for an initial barrel roll. This is a manoeuvre so named because the aircraft are basically describing the inside of an imaginary barrel laying on its side in the sky. Watertight formation this is, led for the 2025 display season by Jamil Zayat, who first joined the Royal Jordanian Falcons back in 2002. He is currently the Director of Operations and leader of the team. In fact, he first assumed leadership back in 2005 and has returned to the role on various occasions since. He joined the Royal Jordanian Air Force in 1992, graduated from its King Hussein Air College. 3 years later, as a fighter pilot, he has past experience on the Northrop F5 and the Dassault Mirage F1. So, out from that wing over to the right, and coming back in down the display line, but we'll see a subtle change to the formation out of box and into T for Tango as they pull up into the Tango. They go back into box formation with the 2 wingmen dropping back a little from the leader. They pull up as if to perform an ordinary Cuban 8 manoeuvre, but they're going to exit it still inverted with a painful negative G push. The Extra 330LX is produced by the aircraft manufacturer Extra of Germany and is probably the smallest aircraft to display here today, with a length of just 23 feet and a wingspan of just 26 feet. Lycoming engine of 315 horsepower. It's a Lycoming AE-IO 580 V1A. And a very well-managed 4-blade propeller by the MT Propeller Company. It's no surprise that this aircraft has been the mount for many championship winners across the globe. Towards the display line, and they're going to be performing this time an inverted turn. Absolutely no fly-by-wire protecting the aircraft from the pilot's input whatsoever. All push tubes, push rods and cables back to the rudder. Gives the aircraft a never-exceed speed of 219 knots and a normal operating speed for aerobatics of 154. And what that means is if you stay below 154 knots, you will not overstress the aircraft with full-scale deflection of any of the controls. A design themed as the name suggests by a German aerobatic pilot and aircraft constructor named Extra, and we're seeing it used so splendidly by the Royal Jordanian Falcons here as they perform another quarter clover manoeuvre out in front of us to reposition on what we refer to as the D-axis, the A-axis display line parallel to the main runway. The B-axis is at right angles to that. They head away from us now to get ready for the first of the splits in this display. There they go, two to the left, two to the right, and this is their salute to you. This is the Royal Jordanian Falcons art. And as they cross out there, back in onto the main A-axis, and they head towards the display centre for a crossover. And they split as they do so. Three of the aircraft clearing off to the north, while the man who's been flying at the back of the formation, the number 4 pilot, gives us a chance to see something of the solo capabilities of the extra EA300. The slot man is Ferhat Al-Waitat, who joined the Royal Jordanian Air Force in 2006, graduated from King Hussein Air College in 2010 as a fighter pilot, flying the F-5 and then the F-16 Fighting Falcon. He's been on the Royal Jordanian Falcons since 2021. It was at the personal behest of that very fine aviator, his late Majesty King Hussein bin Talal of Jordan, that the Royal Jordanian Falcons were founded back in 1976 on the pit special. His intention was that he intended to promote the Jordanian family, peace and friendship to the world through the art and science of aviation. Who crosses over with the 3-ship formation. Pulling up for a loop on the 45-degree line. And the leader will now be calling them into a barrel jump. The barrel roll, the solo re-enters. King Hussein, a very enthusiastic pilot himself, who for many years became a patron himself in some of the aircraft from his royal flight, with the likes of the TriStar and the Dove. Now the 3 aircraft numbers 1, 2 and 3 performing synchronised stall turns off on the 45-degree line to the right. And now we see the leader and the right wing man going into mirror formation, the left wing man barrel rolling dynamically around their smoke. Has been with the Jordanian Falcons since 2016. He's their chief pilot at the moment. He's another King Hussein Air College graduate as a fighter pilot, flying the F-5 before he transitioned to the Air Force's transport fleet on the Airbus C295 twin turboprop. And as well as being the smallest aircraft on display here at RIAT, it is the only one that can be flown on a private pilot's license, with a maximum takeoff weight of just over 2,000 pounds and a cost of somewhere in the region of 350,000 pounds, plus the inevitable VAT. If you can afford it, you can fly it. There's always something going on in this display, so as the solo exits off to the half left, goes onto the knife edge to cross with the 3-ship running back in big formation now, for another of the quarter clover lead manoeuvres that are such a good way of changing display axis. And they split on the way down. All heading back into the vertical, showing us something of the outstanding power to weight ratio of the extra EA 330 LX. They clear, the solo comes back in for a session of freestyle aerobatic manoeuvres. Up into the vertical, and then tail sliding back down through his own smoke. Transitioning into a spin. Several complete rotations before a very smart recovery. And rolling off into the distance as the free shift gets ready for inverted as the solo crosses them, heading underneath them and pulling up behind them as the team begins to roll upright. As I say, the team comes from what's known officially as the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, and the manoeuvre they're setting up for now is called the Hashemite Break. Break, go, full vertical as the two wingmen go off to either side. The wingmen I haven't talked. Extras all over the sky at the moment, but they'll shortly be reforming. Two wingmen crossing a perfect cross display centre as the leader dives down behind them, and the solo pulls up into the vertical. Specials with the extra 300. They later upgraded to the low-wing 300L model before changing in 2018 to this, the Ultimate, the 330 LX. Left, the solo diving in from the right. Moving on to the nice edge for the crossover. The three other aircraft are now back in line abreast formation. Performing a very tidy loop with rock-steady formation flying. Now watch the rejoin by the solo, and also watch the transition from line abreast into big formation by the other three as the solo chases them down. Currently inverted, but soon once again to roll up. Right, there we go. And they're using a wing over to come back onto the AXs. Now, Mark, we'll see a very nice slow roll, hopefully, from another aircraft in the display, another propeller-driven aircraft in the display later on. This is going to be a slow roll in box formation. One of the hardest manoeuvres we're going to see today, performed by 18 whilst in formation, absolutely. What makes this so challenging, actually, it's a manoeuvre that requires all three axes of the control system in use. So they start with the aileron, in the night edge, top edge of rudder comes in the inverted, the elevator goes forward to provide upward lift, again converting to top rudder and then transitioning to normal flight. However, because you've got two aircraft on the outside that are going, or are describing a circle around in Jordan, well, they're coming towards the final part of this superb display. That cloverleaf manoeuvre used to come back onto the B-axis in front of us. They're setting up into what they call Concorde formation, and this is for their final manoeuvre. This is for their Concorde fan break.